every minute of it, and it's been pretty good to me. So I'm going to show you guys a few more pictures of some of our response in Haiti, and I'll try to explain a little bit what's going on there. Right here, you see a shot of Port-au-Prince Airport. You can see one of our HC-130 crew members escorting American citizens back onto the C-130 and first bring them back to Homestead. If my head's in the way, let me know. I'll jump out. Oh, how do I, not exactly, plus more.
Just click on it.
Oh. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Technology, here I am a pilot, right? That right there is a medium endurance cutter. We call them 270s. That's actually very similar to the boat I was on, and that is just off the coast of Haiti at the time. For anybody that's ever actually been down into Haiti or off the coast, believe it or not, the mist and fog and all that, that's what it normally looks like. That's not from the earthquake. A lot of mountainside fires burning at night, very large charcoal industry over there. So a lot of deforestation and burning taking place. So you actually really can't get a feel for the magnitude of what happened just by this picture, but that is actually what the Haitian coast looks like, minus the Coast Guard cutters just covering the shore completely like that.
You had a couple there.
We did actually. We had two just in that picture alone, and actually in Port-au-Prince Harbor, there were Coast Guard assets, Navy assets. There was a Coast Guard asset, I want to say, moored up to what was left of the pier in Port-au-Prince, and that actually became the primary platform for getting goods and supplies craned on and offshore. The Coast Guard also established landing zones around the shore to help perform medical evacuations and deliver aid, and I'll show you one of those in a minute.
How did you get the planes in there? Because wasn't the airport's runway damaged at the time?
Believe it or not, no. The Port-au-Prince Airport was actually fairly intact, undisturbed. And actually, while our planes were on deck there, they underwent several aftershocks. And surprisingly, the aircraft were fine, the runway was fine, nothing really damaged that port, so that we were able to luckily provide aid that way. Honestly, if that had been the case where the runways were damaged, our effort would probably still be going on to the magnitude it was the first 2 weeks, just because we had done everything by helo, and that would have taken a lot longer.
One of the other problems they did have, from what I understand, hearing on the news, was they had so many crafts going into that airport that it was actually hard to even land in there.
Exactly, and that's part of what slowed things down for us. Because of the amount of aircraft that were going in and out of the airport, the Air Force came in and they established slots. Basically, you had to make a reservation to go land in Haiti. And it got to a point where all these organizations, again, the outreach was tremendous, and I'm not trying to take away from that, but so many aircraft were trying to get in that I would call to get a block or even just one spot, and they wouldn't have anything for a week. So it made things a little interesting for us. We had to do some bargaining with some of our government partners out there, but we managed. Yes, sir.
Who was handling the air traffic control on the ground? Because I think they said the tower was out of position.
Right. Haitian air traffic control actually went down pretty much right as soon as the earthquake happened. The Air Force went in and took control of it. And U.S. military pretty much had the entire airport under control initially. And as we were able to, or as they were able to, the Haitians were able to retake control of it. We just gave them back whatever functions they were ready to handle. So.
Was the Air Force using an AWACS for air traffic control like they did in Louisiana?
They were, yes. And that was actually a great tool. And in Louisiana, it helped out a lot also, just because, again, Katrina, the entire air traffic control structure was taken down. So in a situation where you have helicopters, heavies, fixed wing planes just littering the sky, they provided great order for us. A lot of coasties, especially a lot of pilots, like to scoff and say, they just red tape, they just make things tougher for us. No, they actually kept order for us, and probably kept it as safe as the operation wound up being. We were fortunate not to have any severe mishaps.
Question,
Yes.
is it true that the Chinese even assisted in the recovery operations in Haiti?
From what I saw, it is true. There were Chinese aircraft going in, there were Cuban aircraft, Russian, Venezuelan, so a lot of countries that the U.S. isn't necessarily best buds with these days. Everyone was helping out, and again, that was a really great thing to see.
Second question, what part do satellites play in the search and rescue process?
Satellites for distress signals, 406 EPIRBs, those rely on satellite passes for information. So an EPIRB or broadcast a signal. Everyone's familiar with how an EPIRB works? Okay. So we'll get the.
No, it wasn't.
I'm sorry. Sir.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. EPIRB is an emergency position indicating radio beacon, and it basically will transmit a distress signal anytime it's activated. So if it's a